everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of Nindies and Indies, a Nintendo fan podcast. I'm your host, ScrapGear, and joining me, as always, my good buddy, Draco Augustus. How's it going, man?
Hey, man, it's going good.
Yeah.
I'm a little delirious because I got no sleep at work last night.
I mean, at least
Very
you had
tired.
a reason for getting no sleep. I just couldn't sleep.
I had a bunch of people that were on PCP that just wanted to go lay out in the middle of the street and stuff. It was awesome.
That sounds like a brilliant plan.
Yeah.
Because when I want to take a nap, roads are my first choice.
Funny story, while I was out there, we went to a college in my territory, and they were having a Super Smash Brothers tournament that I was so close to going in the fire truck to go do. Like, there were people that, like, the guy that was riding with me was kind of like, and I was like, okay, I guess we won't. But yeah, that would have been amazing, especially if I won. Like, you know, I'm just naturally good at Super Smash Brothers. Yeah. So, I mean,
oh man. All right, well, let's get right into this. What have you been playing this past week?
I have been playing. I completed as far as I could in Cluster Truck, which I kind of told you before that there's a bug in it that doesn't let me get past level 4 in World 8. But I did. They have like a Halloween add-on and a Christmas add-on that I beat both of too. So I'm just waiting for that patch. And I emailed Tiny Build and they said that that's coming. So that's nice. Good news. And then what else? Oh, I've been playing quite a bit of that Golf Story game.
Yeah.
And really like on and off, you know, just because it's such a chill game. Like I fell asleep playing it the other day, like in a good way. You know, I was just like really relaxed playing it, and I was like, and then I was just like, all right, I'm gonna set this down on my chest now and take a little nap. You know,
yeah. I mean, it's a wacky golf game, but it is still a golf game.
Yeah, I was getting frustrated though with the disc golf part, the extra little part where you go to cheek beak peak. There we go.
Yeah.
But just because like I was it took me a little bit to figure out like, okay, it doesn't matter which way you throw the disc, you curve it as if you were in the disc's point of view. Anyways, it was a little frustrating, and then I beat it and I went on to the regular golf again, and I was like, okay, I'm good. But yeah, that's such a great game to just chill out and play.
Oh yeah.
I did play some Kirby Star Allies. I know I was telling you, like, hey, this is going to be great. I'm going to be able to play it with my kids and my wife, and they can all just, like, you know, even if, like, one of them were to fall off, they just teleport back up to me. Well, I ended up playing that with 3 grown men other than myself, and it was hilarious. Like, we were, like, just like, what are you doing? And I'd be like, wait, I want to just clobber the person and, you know, kill the guy that I need to suck up to get the power up, you know? And I'm like, oh, come on, guys. And they start like cracking up because they think it's hilarious.
Of course.
Yeah. But yeah, that right there just shows you that, like, it's a pretty fun little game. And it's cool because you can get Bandana Waddle Dee, or we ended up also getting King DDD.
Nice.
To go through with you, you know, you kind of like basically you take on their power basically if you select them, you know, but instead of just taking on their power, you are them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because most of them, especially the player 2, 3, and 4, they are interchangeable bad guys that become good guys, basically. Like, they don't look like Kirby or anything, you know, but they can still fly like Kirby and everything. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's a cool game. There's a cool little puzzles and stuff to try to figure out, and have to like light a fuse and run over and get in the cannon, or have somebody up here. It's like, wait, stay up there, stay in the cannon, and then I'm gonna come over here and light it with my fire yo-yo, and
Yeah.
It's neat. It's cool. And yeah, I'm excited to play some more and actually play it with my family. But yeah. Other than that, I played a little bit more Donkey Kong Country, just to keep chipping away at that some. And I'm pretty sure that's it. I probably played more, and I just can't think about it right now. I can't think of it because, like I said, I'm deliriously tired.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I just have to keep talking to you. Stay awake. But man, what have you been up to this week?
Not a whole lot. Like, as far as what I've been doing during the week, like I've been checking out stuff on D&D Beyond, like learning about some of the classes, some of the fine tuning for stuff, like especially to try and help my oldest, because she decided she wanted to play a barbarian. We're now level 2 in our campaign, which is awesome. But then when we hit level 3, she has to make a choice on what path she wants to take. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to sit her down and be like, okay, here's the general gist of what these different things will do. And like, I've looked up what suggestions people can do with those different subclasses. Like, there's there's your stereotypical berserker one where you pretty much go into like a super frenzy rage and you get to make extra attacks, and you can't be charmed and all that. Like, you literally go into a berserker rage. But then there's another one that's like ancestral rage, where like when you rage, like you summon ancestral spiritual guardians that like hover around your allies and whatnot. So it's more of a it's more of a tank barbarian rather than a striker barbarian. Okay. So like I'm trying to talk to her about that, and she's like, okay, that sounds interesting. I was like, do you even understand what I just said? No.
Yeah. I barely understood what you just said.
Yeah. But yeah, so and she's I recently was able to get, I think I got 5 more sets of dice for like $10, when normally like a set of dice is anywhere from 6 to 8, depending on like the quality, the color, the texture, and everything. They can go upwards from there too. Like, I've seen sets of metal dice that are like $30, but they're metal dice.
Right.
So, and it's the full set of 7, so you get all 7 dice that you need for a D&D game, and they're made of metal.
You could cheat with those with the magnet under the table.
They're actually not magnetized.
They're stainless steel.
They're stainless steel, yeah.
There you go.
So,
not magnetized.
Yeah, you can't try and be like, no, I wanted to. Oh, look at that! I rolled another natural 20. But yeah, so been doing that. Also been they've had some one of the community members has been doing like tips for D&D games, like how to find a group, how to keep a group going. The latest one he did was like the importance of improvisational skills as a DM. So I was reading that one because I know that's something that I'm trying to be a lot better with. But at the same time, like it's something that he said, like, it doesn't matter if you've just started DMing or you've been DMing for 40 years. Like, there's always room to improve. Yeah,
for sure.
So,
it definitely seems like something that...
Mm-hmm.
And Stranger Things makes me want to start doing that so bad.
Yeah.
But,
well, I'll figure out a way so that we can do it over, like, Discord or Skype, and...
Yeah, that'll be fun.
We'll get you and Elliot playing. It'll be fun.
Yeah. All this tabletop stuff reminds me, I also went to which I told you before we started recording, but I figured I'd say it on the cast. I went to a place called the Coral Sword in Houston, and man, that place is cool. It's basically like a little cafe, and they have a crap load of tabletop games, like they sell them also, and they have really good pizza. I got the Charizard, which is a chorizo pizza. With the cheese on top of the chorizo, and then the chorizo sauce on top of that, and then they have a fried egg on top of it, and it's nice. The Charizard.
Interesting.
So it was delicious. I ate the entire thing.
Nice.
And that with some coffee. They have pretty good coffee too.
Nice.
And they also have like a back room where they have like more tables to basically you can like take your stuff and play. And I actually created a Houston Switch Club event to go there on April 14th at 4 p.m.
I got the Facebook invite, and I'm like, dude, I can't make that.
Yeah, I know. I just did it to everybody.
I know.
Just say you can go so people see that, oh, look, there's people going, so they'll be okay with going.
Okay, yeah.
And
then they'll be like, I've never seen this person. Where are they from? They're from Maine. Wow, they're coming all the way from Maine. And then they'll get there, and then like they're the only person who shows up. They might not, but they might.
Yeah. And then I just say, well, he thought he would be able to make it, but he couldn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool, and they even stream. Oh, and it's also, this place was opened up by the Ming Chen from Comic Book Men, and like he's the owner. I guess I think it might be him and Ming and Mike from the Ming and Mike Show, which is a podcast. Anyways, I don't know. I never watched Comic Book Men, and I tried to listen to their podcast one time, and I just like, I don't know. I heard about them on the Nerd Foo, so I was like, I'll try listening to that, and then it just nothing's really caught me yet. None of their subject matter has, at least that has really caught me. But I still look for their titles and see, it's like, what are they talking about this week, you know? Anyways, yeah, it's a cool place. They do streaming on Twitch too, where they have like, they weren't really doing a tournament, but it was like 4 guys like talking and stuff, and they're pretty responsive in chat too. Pretty cool. And that's about all I have to say about that.
Nice. Yeah. The only other thing that I've been doing this week is I've been trying to get caught up on Critical Role. So like, instead of watching something on Netflix, I've been opening up YouTube and watching the episodes. And they just did episode 11, and earlier, I think last week, I was on like episode 3 or 4. And you would think, oh, he probably got caught up in a couple of days. He was able to go and watch them live. Yeah, not when each episode is about 3.5 to 4 hours long. 4.5 hours long. That's a day project.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
we just think we have long episodes sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like a 4-hour D&D session, that's a short session.
Yeah.
Like that's a short to an average session. There are some times where like groups will get together. They'll only get together once a month, so they'll want to be able to play a ton because they only get to do it once a month, not every week. And like they'll play for 9 hours or more. Yeah.
I remember like one of my favorite things in Stranger Things is whenever it's like, but Mom, we're almost done. We've been doing this for 10 hours. And she's like, you've been playing that game for 10 hours?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, yeah, we're almost done.
Yeah. Yeah, right now, like if I were to do a session like that, like I would need an extra, what I have is a Chessex mat, which is huge. It's like a 36 by 40 something, 1-inch square grid, wet erase mat. And when I do like we just cleared out one building with a basement, and I drew the building at where like one of the points was at the very edge of the map, and then I did the basement, but like the first floor took up more than half the map, or the grid space, and then the bottom one was much smaller. But like if we were to go through and do a really long session and do that one, do the basement, and then there's a what is it? There's like a ruin from like this old cult that like leads off from this trail. Like that would I would need a whole nother board just to be able to go and make that.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just too much. That's just too much.
And of course, like I have to draw it all out. And at some point, like, what I would really like to do is, if I could manage it, get get some Dwarven Forge dungeon stuff or materials, because like they've got cavern set up, so you can go and build a cavernous room, and it's all 3D environments and everything. It'd be really cool. But like for getting a set of like a castle or a dungeon, it would be like $70, but you get a ton of pieces. But I'd probably have to buy it like twice.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that would be really cool. Other than my usual D&D stuff that I've been doing for the past few weeks, I had one day where I was too tired to read, but not tired enough to go to sleep. So I was like, I'm going to play something. What am I going to play? And I'll boot up Super Mario Odyssey again. So I played that. I got the Odyssey, and then I immediately went back to the Cap Kingdom and got all the moons and the coins that you can get before finishing the story. So I was like, this is still fun. Yeah, I obviously don't feel the need to I need to play this every day until I beat it completely again.
See, and that's how I am with Golf Story right now. Just nice and chill.
Yeah. But my daughter's been playing it a lot again. And she's been like, "Hey Dad, I got this moon over here. Did you know about this moon?" It's like, kiddo, I got every single moon. Yes, I got that moon.
It's like, yep, got that.
Like there was one where like she was asking for help on like in the Bowser Kingdom, and I'm like, "Oh, well, how do you get to this one over here that's over the Poison Lake?" And I was like, "Well, there's the Lukita right over there. Did you get him?" She's like, "Oh yeah, I remember him. I went and I had to fish for something." And then like she was doing it, and she's like, "Hey Dad, did you find the big dog in the poison?" And I was like, I mean, maybe. I don't remember. It's been a very long time since I played that part. Did you get a moon for it? Yeah. Then yes. Yes, I did find that. Yes, I did find that dog.
Yeah.
But
that's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, that's all that I've been playing this week.
Cool, man.
So we are going to go on to our main topic, and this one is definitely right down our alley. Nintendo released their Nintendo Switch Nindies Showcase Spring of 2018. That was
which was a few days ago.
Yeah,
but
I think it was on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What do you think of it, man? You go first this time.
I saw a lot of things that we were talking about it afterwards in some of the Discord chats that we're in, and you had mentioned with one of the other Bullhorn Gaming guys that like these are a lot of indie games that you guys got to see at PAX South. Because I couldn't make it this year, I didn't get to see any of these. So a lot of these, this is the first time that I'm seeing these. And I am really excited for a lot of these. Again, because the Switch is portable, like these are indie games that I was interested in on the Xbox or the PlayStation, but never got around to it because it's like, I mean, I don't know when I'm going to play those. Yeah,
man, the Switch is a freaking indie machine right now. Which some people are like, oh, I don't know, but I think it's good. I think it's good for both sides of the industry, So, more games, cheap and affordable games, and those companies are getting recognition and getting bigger. And Nintendo's making money off of all of it. So I think it's pretty awesome. But yeah, I don't know why I don't have a list of the games that they put out on the direct in front of me.
Because
you have
I have it right in front of me.
There, that's why you need to go.
Yeah. Well, like conveniently enough, I went to go and I did my usual, because I forgot to write it down, so I went and I did my usual Google search, and like I think the GameSpot one came. It was like everything that was shown in this, and like they showed everything, but like there were 4 things that I was actually really excited about that they didn't have on there, and I was like, that's not the whole list. I know there's stuff missing from this list. So I opened up the YouTube video and I was going to go and like quickly watch it again and write down all of the stuff. But I noticed in the info on the YouTube video, it actually has timestamps for where all the games they show. So we're just going to go right down the list.
There you go.
So first up, the first thing that they showed was that Mark of the Ninja Remastered is coming to the Switch. This is like, it's definitely a throwback to like the old Metal Gear Solid games where like you need to sneak. You can take out enemies if you have to, but like you get the harder part and like the true challenge of like the platforming and everything is sneaking through as quickly as you can. And it's just like I think it said it's a roguelike, so like when you die, like you have to start over.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it looks cool. This is not one that I saw at PAX South.
Well,
but,
it's been out for a long time too.
Yeah, it has. I know it's been on other systems and stuff. So, I've heard a lot of people like say that they've played through it multiple times. So, I think it's probably pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah,
I'd like to try it out.
This is an indie game that always had my interest peaked on other consoles, but because it's like I have to sit down and play it on the console, like I don't always have the TV at my disposal. So again, having it on the Switch, I can just take it off the dock and just sit down and play it on the couch and not have to worry about that. Or with my job, if I end up getting stuck waiting around, I can pop it open and play some more.
Yeah.
All right, so next game, we've got a just your basic fighting game, Fantasy Strike, but it had some. I'm a little more curious about this because it did say like, oh hey, use it's not just people fighting and like throwing Hadouken fireballs. It's like using the different elements. And I'm curious with them, specifically stating like the use of the elements. Like, I think they said like fire, water, air, ghost, time. I'm wondering if you can select an element that a character can do. Like maybe they don't have access to all of them, but they have like 3 different ones that they can pick from. And they did say that the movesets are very simple. So the game is less about memorization and more about tactics, which is interesting for a fighting game.
Yeah, it definitely looks cool. It does kind of have like, it looks almost like Street Fighter V, like the graphics and stuff,
Yeah.
And I enjoy fighting games. I like them. I wish I could just get good at all of them, so I can, but yeah. So I don't know if I'll get this one because there is Street Fighter already, or I mean, all we have so far is Street Fighter 2. But and then Pokken Tournament, other fighting games that I'm into. So I just don't know if this is going to be one that I'm picking up.
Yeah,
as cool as it looks, it does look really cool.
Yeah, it does, like the art style and everything looks really cool.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have Just Shapes and Beats. I love bullet hell games and I love chiptunes, and so like this is like I will definitely be picking this up if we can reach out and maybe. And like either get a review code for at least one of us and like get them on the show. I'd love to talk to them about it. But you have a fun story about this game. Yeah,
we actually got to interview the guy that made this game, and Berserk Studios. He's the word wizard. It's what his business card says, and I cannot. Mike is his name. Okay, so there we go. I was like, I know it's gonna come to me. But anyways, this game was awesome. Like, and I mean, I talked about it in our PAX South episode, obviously, but like, you said chiptunes. It's not just chiptunes. It's like techno, like music that like they have redone or, taken the Mortal Kombat theme song from the movie is in this game.
Excellent.
And I know there's going to be so many more like that, right? Especially like, I don't know if there's going to be any exclusives on the Switch or anything, like little missions that have like Mario techno remixes or something. That would be amazing. Who knows? But the game was awesome. Like, just sitting down, it was me, Alex, Wade, and Thaddeus. And we, got to play for a little bit back in the media area, and yeah, I mean, it was really cool. And I mean, okay, so the fun story you're talking about. So when I interviewed him, I can't remember if I said in the interview which the interview didn't get posted because we had some audio issues, which sucked, but it happens, I guess. And I think it does. We do have some gameplay in like our overview video for PAX South. But anyways, I was talking to Mike, and I was like, man, this game would be perfect for the Nintendo Switch because you have 4-player couch co-op. It has really simple controls, so it would be no problem to have split Joy-Cons. And I said, and you could even like incorporate the music with the HD Rumble. And he like kind of had this look on his face, and he was like, huh. And like I was like, man, it'd be great. And he's like, I guess I'm gonna have to figure out how to email Nintendo. And I was like, oh, when I saw this go on there, I was like, I totally had something to do, which I couldn't be the only person that told him at PAX South.
And it is also completely possible that they already did that, but because they weren't showcasing it at PAX South, that like maybe they weren't ready to announce that, yes, it is coming to the Switch. But it makes you feel that way.
Yeah, I was like, he did a good job at making me feel like I gave him the idea. So that's what I'm going to go with for now until somebody proves me wrong. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that game. I have emailed him, and I'm just waiting for a response. So yeah, that'd be great to get him on here if we could on the podcast. Mike, if you're listening, look for my email.
All right, so next game that they showed off was Garage, which is a top-down stick shooter survival game.
It's like a zombie horror game, basically.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's like. It is somewhat survival in the sense that like Resident Evil is survival. Like you only have so many bullets you can pick up.
Yeah.
You have to get supplies and utilize the rooms. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be like a pretty just like story driven game. Which is it? It's going to be a Switch exclusive, right?
I think so.
That's what I thought he said, and they did Alex, the guy from Tiny Build, he did another Hello Switch 2 is what they called it.
Yeah.
And it went into further detail. So yeah, if you are more interested in Garage than what they showed, because they even said in the direct that they're like, there is too much violent stuff in this to show you. Like we can't show you like a lot of this game. Because of the violence. And dude, like, yeah, it shows like they had like a freaking human centipede boss and stuff. So I mean, and like, you get a shotgun blowing zombies' brains out, and you can get points by scoring a goal with the zombie head when you kick it.
Excellent.
Like a soccer ball. Yeah. So I mean, it looks like it's going to be tons of fun, and it definitely has that Tiny Build feel to it, which I've definitely started noticing more and more as I've played more Tiny Build games. Is they have a type of game that they like to publish, and this definitely has that feel to it.
Nice. All right, next up we have Pool Panic, which is an Adult Swim game coming to the Switch.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it definitely was interesting. Like, I don't want to say that it definitely was like the way that I would describe it is because it's a crazy kind of pool game. It's almost like the Golf Story of pool games, kind of.
But Adult Swim.
But with an Adult Swim twist on it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, which is cool. That's the second Adult Swim game now. I'm pretty sure that Battle Chef Brigade was the only other. Yeah, that's the only other Adult Swim game. So maybe we can talk to Tom Eastman over there at Trinket Studios and see if he can get us an in with the Adult Swim people.
Yeah.
Because that would be cool to get some at least the developer from that game on. That would be awesome.
All right. Next up, we have Bomb Chicken, which just looks like a super fun game.
Right? I was just like, what is happening?
Like, all I see is just this chicken just laying a stack of bombs.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what just happened?
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like a really fun game. Yeah, it looks ridiculous, and sometimes like that's all you want. You just want a fun, ridiculous game.
Yep.
And that definitely fits it.
I think you summed it up for me too, man. I mean, I don't know how many other ways I can say how ridiculous the game looks.
Mm-hmm.
It's a chicken.
You were a chicken
bombs.
that lays bombs instead of eggs.
And you use it to figure out puzzles and stuff.
Yeah, and like the little bit that they said about the story, like right near the end of it, is like your whole quest is to find out what is in the secret sauce at this chicken, like pretty much this game's universe version of KFC. Like what's in the special sauce?
Yeah. Wacky. That's another way to describe it.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we have Lumines Remastered. It's another, I don't want to say Beat Hazard game, but it's another rhythm game. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. It's another rhythm game that is like
Is that the
Tetris.
one where it's dropping the blocks
Yeah.
down? Kinda? Okay, yeah.
It's interesting. This is one that like I've heard a lot of people really, really like this game. It's not in my wheelhouse. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, I mean... I probably won't get it. I mean, it's I like puzzle games, but I have some puzzle games, and if I had the choice between this and then going back and picking up like Floor Kids as a cool little indie title that has a rhythm to it and stuff, that's probably what I would choose to do as of right now. I mean, I might hear something that's like, "Oh, this game is the best," but we'll see.
All right. Next up, we have Reigns, Kings and Queens. This was it was a very low key system game where like pretty much you're building your kingdom, and like as people show up, you can either choose to let them in, turn them away, and like you have to do different things. Like, are you going to arrest this person for like stealing a loaf of bread because him and his family are hungry, or do you execute him, or do you just let him go? It seems really interesting, and I would love to reach out to the company and get. I can't remember what the publisher was or the development team. I'd have to look at it again, but I'd love to reach out to them and hear more about the game, because it piqued my interest enough that I'd like to give it a little bit more of a shot and like see a little bit more about it.
Yeah. I mean, it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I like you said, it would be great to hear more about it and stuff, but it kind of fell in that category for me that was just kind of like, okay, I'll see how it goes.
It looks interesting, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Lightfall. This looks awesome. Like, this looks right up my alley for like fast-paced platforming.
Yeah, it does look good. This was one that was at PAX South. We didn't get an interview or anything, but it wasn't announced for Switch yet at the time. And I remember seeing it and being like, I hope that comes to the Switch, because that looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, this one definitely looks awesome. I'm really intrigued. We did get Wade got an email and he forwarded it to us, and like both of us want to reach out and see if we can get a review code so that we could talk about it on the show, because I'd love to talk about it. I'd love to be able to delve more into it. But,
yeah. It's one that's definitely, I think it's probably going to be there with Celeste. I mean, it's a very similar type of game. It might not, it probably doesn't have the same charm, but it definitely has a charm to it that is, it almost looks like the coloring and our art style kind of looks like Faye. Which is cool. and it looks really good in for that type of game.
All right, next up we have West of Loathing. This just looks like a fun game. It's like a RPG kind of.
Oh yeah, the stick
figures. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just like, that just looks ridiculous and fun, and I love RPGs, so that might be one that I keep my eye on.
Yeah, for sure. Just the art style, it's on its own. Like, it would make me want to keep my eye on it, because
like everything looks 2D, but it is a 3D environment. Because like you see the character like walking around in a cave, and then like they walk behind a pile of rocks, and it's like it's a 2D pile of rocks, but they walk behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one looks like a lot of fun. I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on that one. I want to say that the next one is pronounced Pod, but I know they were like Pode or something like that. It's
Potty.
No,
Sorry.
I don't think it was that. But like so bad, I want to just say Pod, but I know it was like Pode or something like that. But that one it's a couch co-op puzzle game that looked interesting, and it had a lot of kind of the same thing that pulled me in on like being interested in Mulaka. It's based off of Norwegian mythology, kind of.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's kind of interesting. I'd check that out. And again, because it's couch co-op, like that's something that I could play with my wife or maybe my oldest daughter. We'll see.
Yeah.
Next up is The Messenger. This looks awesome. Like, this is another one that's like, this is right up my alley. Platform adventure game? Yeah.
See, this is one that was also at PAX South, and I remember going by it, and I still have the card for it somewhere. The card, it was like a pretty big card, about the size of a Super Nintendo case. I keep bumping my microphone. And it had like the same, like the black edge with the red line striping on Super Nintendo cases, the old Super Nintendo. It had that on there, so I was like, and it didn't say anything about it coming to the Switch. It just said Steam and some other stuff, and I was like, this is totally coming to the Switch. There's no way that this is not coming to the Switch with the card like that, So
I will say, cool. I thought it was a little funny that they said like it was an 8-bit, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, that looks like 16-bit and then goes to 32-bit. I could be wrong. It's been a really long time, but like for me, in my head, when I think 8-bit, I think Mario and the first Mega Man. And those characters are not very detailed. Granted, I didn't spend a lot of time with Ninja Gaiden, but like the backgrounds looked a little too crisp.
Yeah, for
8-bit.
The Messenger, it definitely looks like it's more than just 8-bit for sure. But yeah, it looks super cool. Like you're a ninja. It looks very Ninja Gaiden, and you know what? I know I talked to the guy. I told him, I was like, when just a ninja game, like there just should always be one, either on any system or on its way to the system. But yeah, I mean, you get like a glider and all sorts of different ninja abilities, like a hook shot type deal. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this one.
Oh yeah,
it looks very smooth, very speedrunner friendly. It looks like another one that will be pretty popular too.
Next up, we have it's a kind of a tactics tower defense game called Bad North. And it is a roguelike. When you lose all your commanders, it's game over and you have to start the game all over again. It looked interesting. This is another one. I'm curious to see how it goes. It's not at the top of my list, but if we could get the chance to like talk to a developer and like learn a little bit more about the game, like it's on my intrigue list.
Yeah. This is that same category that I talked about earlier for me. Looks cool, looks intriguing, but it's probably gonna go under my radar. You know what I mean? Like just as far as as far as everything goes with
everything else
all the other games coming out.
Yeah.
Like,
and last up, this was technically 3 announcements in one, but the entire trilogy of the Banner Saga is coming to the Nintendo Switch.
yeah.
And I have Banner Saga 2. I think it was Banner Saga 2. It might be Banner Saga 1. I have one of them that when I think the day it was released, it was free on Xbox.
Yeah, I think I have that too, maybe.
And
Just maybe.
it is that it's set up like that Final Fantasy Tactics kind of game, where it's like the grid tactics, your characters can move so many squares and whatnot, which is also like kind of like how Dungeons and Dragons works. Like your character, if they can move 30 feet, they can move 6 squares. So like seeing that, and it also has that Fire Emblem consequences to it. Like Fire Emblem, when one of your characters dies, at least in the older games, when one of your characters dies, they're gone forever.
Yeah.
So like hearing that all 3 are coming to the Switch and having it on the go, like I wasn't that intrigued to play it before, but like again, I really enjoy tactics games. It's been a long time since I've played one, and having all 3 of this game on the Switch and being able to go through each of the games, where all of your data and your story from each game, from game to game, or going from game to game, is just going to be super cool, and I'm excited. I will probably pick it up at some point. Again, this is going to be one of those ones where it's like, I would really like to play this, but I don't know when I'll have the money for it.
Yeah. And that's how I feel about all the games.
Mm-hmm.
You really gotta set your priorities straight for gaming whenever it comes to all these games, because I just got onto the on Nintendo.com, just like games coming soon, and there's games on here that weren't mentioned in the direct, which I will mention, which I guess we're done talking about the
showcase,
the Nindies Showcase. We're done with that now. There's some other ones here. There's one called Warshift that I can't tell what it is, but I see it comes out on the 27th. And another game that we got to interview the guys at PAX South is Clusterpuck 99. That comes out on the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually have been talking to him, and we should be having Bryn from the studio, which is the game is called Clusterpuck 99, and the studio is PH Collective. So I've been emailing him, and he should be on our show next week.
Yeah.
So y'all look forward to that, listeners.
More interviews.
Yeah. What?
I said more interviews. Yeah.
Yeah. I love interviews. I love talking to people about their games.
Mm-hmm.
I saw, and another one that this not make it on the showcase is I saw a tweet that says Hyper Light Drifter is coming to the Switch. Yeah.
Well, the thing is like they probably already recorded this, and like we're gonna go and we'll release it on this day, and then like after they had recorded it, they're like, oh, that's right, that's coming way sooner than we thought it was going to.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, maybe.
Because Hyper Light Drifter, I think I have that at least on the Xbox. I don't know if I have it on the PlayStation and the Xbox. Because it may have been a free game at one point on PlayStation. But I know I have it, and I haven't played it, and I really want to play it. I just haven't gotten around to it because I forget that I have it. But again, having it on the Switch, like, I will play it on that because I can play it on the go.
Yeah. And I remember, like, I researched into Hyper Light Drifter when I played Phantom Trigger, because they had very similar art styles and stuff, and I was like, well, now I need to play this game. And I was like, man, this really needs to come to the Switch. So, and now it is. My wish has come true.
Yeah.
Nintendo's making dreams come true, man.
Yeah, they are. Oh man, like again, like I've said this, I don't even know how many times now. When you find a really good indie game, like I have had plenty of times where I have enjoyed indie games so much more, or like indie games or indie comics, so much more than I've enjoyed AAA titles. Just because like there is more, it feels like there's more heart. It is more of a, creator created game rather than like, okay, here's these people working on this game, but they have the studio that's dictating them to be like, well, no, you can't really do that. So like that's my favorite thing about like seeing all these really cool indie games and like getting the chance, like hopefully getting the chance to play them at some point. Like I will say, like, if we hadn't had that interview set up with Spooky Doorway, I might not have checked it out. But
I'm
like,
so glad that we did. Like,
yeah,
that's so
and like
good.
hearing you talk a bit more about it, like when you said, "Oh yeah, hey, I got an interview with these. Like, you should check out this game." And like when I checked it out, I was like, "This looks really cool." And then I played it, and like it's amazing.
Yeah,
it is so much fun. Like people hear like point and click adventure game, and they're like, "Oh, those are okay." Like this isn't just okay. This is super fun. Like you should play if you're gonna play a point and click adventure game. Play this one.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so I love that Nintendo went and they had their Direct a couple of weeks ago, and now they have a whole separate one for just the indies coming to the Nintendo Switch. So that way, again, like they can kind of help showcase, like they don't want to distract from these indies that are coming to the Switch. Which, again, like I saw in one of the chats, like, they should just port over the whole Virtual Console to the Switch. It's like, they'll probably get there eventually. I'm okay if they take their time. I don't have the money for those. And there's all these really cool games coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, I mean, there's other ways to play those games. Nintendo knows that. If you really want to play them, you'll go through the trouble to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard to get a Super Nintendo or a NES. I mean, I know it would be great to have it on the, which you could get a 2DS.
Mm-hmm.
They have all those games on the 2DS.
No, they don't.
eShop, so there's that too.
There are a lot of the game, like even the Game Boy Advance games or the DS games, they don't have on the 3DS.
Oh, they don't. Okay.
Yeah, like I know that
people.
both of the Fire Emblems, I think both of the Golden Suns are available on like the Wii U Nintendo Shop, or if you have a Wii, I don't remember when that closed down. I think that might be closed down now though.
The Wii shop, not yet. I think it closes down next year.
Okay.
I know this because I have a Wii, and I'm like, what do I need to get before that? Yeah,
before it closes. But I did a cross reference. Yeah, I did a cross reference between the eShop on the Wii and the Wii U. All of those games are on there. I was like, okay, well, what are the N64 games? Because those are going to be the ones that are, if you are not one of those people that uses emulators, N64 is one of those ones that's a little trickier. So if you wanted to go and buy the games, like all the ones that are available on the Wii shop are available on the Wii U shop as well.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about like, oh no, I gotta go and I gotta buy a whole bunch of Nintendo points so that I can get all the stuff off of the e-store. Don't worry about it. You can get it on the Wii U if you have a Wii U. And I'm sure you can find Wii U's cheap.
Yeah. So there was one thing that I predicted that we would hear about in this Nindies Direct or Nindies Showcase that we did not, and that was I thought we were gonna get like Shovel Knight, King of Cards release date. I was really hoping to see that, and I'm still disappointed that we didn't, because it still just says 2018 on the website. Man. So
we'll get it eventually. And I will play the crap out of that one too.
Yeah.
All right. But I think that's about it for our main topic. We didn't get any listener questions this week. Not that I saw anyways.
I didn't put a tweet out.
Okay.
I'm bad.
We gotta.
We need to get better at that.
What we need to do is we need to like on like Saturday or Sunday come up with a tweet and then schedule it to come out on Thursday, being like, tomorrow this happens, we're recording. But
I'll definitely put one out with the cluster puck guys.
Yep.
It's funny, I'm playing Cluster Truck and I'm talking about interviewing Puck guys.
Yeah, Cluster Puck. All right. So
Cluster
with
Puck
that,
and Cluster Truck.
we are going to start wrapping things up. Draco, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Draco Augustus. And you can find me on the Houston Switch Club Facebook. I run that thing. Join it. Talk about games on it, and come to our meetup, which is at the Coral Sword on April 14th.
Just a few days before my birthday. That would be a heck of a surprise birthday gift. Just like, by the way, for your birthday, we're flying you to Houston.
Yeah, there you go.
That's not going to happen. Sorry, man.
I know. But yeah, and my email is draco@mulehorngaming.com if you want to email me anything. And you can ask me what my Switch code is. I was like, what is it called? Switch friend code. There we go.
Friend code, yeah. As for me, as always, you can find me everywhere as ScrapGear. Be sure to follow Nindies and Indies on Twitter at Nindies and Indies. It's spelled Nindies twice.
Nindies.
Yep, Nindies. You will know that you find it by if the picture is of two boos just kind of laughing at each other. One has a beard and a hat. So that is us. Definitely be sure to follow us on there. Also, if you have any questions for us, be sure to hit us up with that hashtag StarRoadMail, and we will read your questions every episode when we have them.
Yeah.
So, be sure to send us in any questions that you have, especially pertaining to, and it doesn't have to be Nintendo based. It can be indie based because again, we focus a lot on, we do play a lot of Nintendo and we like seeing the indies that are coming to Nintendo, but we'll play indie games on other systems.
You can ask us about any games too if you want. I mean, I started playing Sea of Thieves today, which was fun. I forgot to say that for somehow.
There you go.
But
I've been hearing some really funny things that people have been for all the negative reviews that have been coming out for it. And I'm like, from what I'm hearing, I haven't played it, but from what I'm hearing, these people are being super biased. And
I was playing by myself, and I had a ton of fun.
They're in a world with a ton of pirates. What do you think is going to happen? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I try to sneak around when I'm by myself, and it was I got so nervous because I came up to where you sell your treasure chests, and there was 3 sails, which is one of the big ships. And I was like, oh crap. And it was nighttime, and I turned all the lamps off on my ship, and I snuck through the water with 4 of my chests, and I got it there. Nice. And then I just ran up to them, and they killed me. And they were like, what the heck? Where'd this guy come from? Yeah. And then when I came back and got on my boat and started sailing around and shooting my cannon at them, and we got in this big battle, and then they rammed me, and I sniped one of them, and then another one jumped on the boat and killed me. Yeah. So that's a fun game, man. I mean, that's all I have to say about it. And I can play it from my computer and my Xbox. So
nice.
There you go.
All right. But if you like listening to podcasts, especially other video game podcasts, be sure to check out the Analog Assault podcast, which is the official video game podcast of mulehorngaming.com, which is our home site. You can find all of our stuff over there. And yeah, if you're looking for video game news, reviews, I think recently Mulehorn117 just put up an article or an editorial piece about Sea of Thieves that actually kind of contradicts a lot of, it looks at stuff from a different point of view. And we've got a bunch of other stuff. I'm thinking, because my wife and I are trying to set up a group with one of her coworkers and their friends, and we're thinking of using D&D Beyond for that to share the books and everything. I'm thinking I might write up an editorial piece on what I think about the tool set that's available right now on D&D Beyond, just because I've been getting a ton of use out of it. But
do it, man.
Yeah, I need to write stuff more.
Do you know where I do most of my writing, if this helps you, is in the notes section on my phone.
Yeah. That's actually what I do too.
Yeah.
Actually, I do it in OneNote so I can just immediately get it on my computer.
Okay, yeah. There you go.
But yeah, definitely. Be sure to check out mulehorngaming.com. Follow us on Twitter. Follow Mulehorn Gaming on Twitter. And until next time, GG.
GG.